plus preposition example sentence notes account for. How do you account for the differences between the two financial reports? To account for is to explain or provide a reason. They accused someone of something. Dan accused Henry of stealing money from the company. To accuse is to say that someone did something bad. Adapt to. When I moved to a different country, it was hard for me to adapt to the new culture. Add something to something. I added some salt to the soup to give it more flavor. Adjust to. After I got divorced, I had to adjust to life as a single man. I admire someone for something. I admire Joanne for her dedication. Agree on topic. My teacher and I agreed on the importance of listening practice. You agreed on a noun. We agreed on politics. We don't agree on religion. Agree to do something. She agreed to make cookies for the party. You agreed to a verb. Agree with someone. I agree with you. You agree with a person. Apologize to someone for doing something. Barbara apologized to her boss for being late to the meeting. Apply to a university/program. I applied to the top university in the country, but I didn't get in. Apply for a job/scholarship. Sandra applied for a marketing job at a multinational company. Approve of. My parents don't approve of my new boyfriend. Argue with someone about something. I argued with my business partner about how much to invest in advertising. To argue is to have a verbal conflict. The noun form is argument, and we also say have an argument with someone. Arrange for someone to do something. We'll arrange for a babysitter to take care of the kid. Arrest someone for something. Pat was arrested for driving without a license. To arrest is when the police take a person into the police station because they are suspected of some crime. July 21st, 2017. Downloaded from www.examhunted.in. Page 1 of 154. Complete list of phrasal verbs and prepositional phrases. This is often in the passive voice. Someone was arrested for. Arrive at a place. By the time we arrived at the train station, our train had already left. Arrive in a city, country. I'll be arriving in Berlin on Thursday. Ask someone about someone/topic. She asked them about their plans for the holiday. You ask someone about a topic. Ask someone for something. I asked my classmate for a pencil. You ask someone for a noun. Ask someone to do something. The teacher asked me to make copies of the worksheet. You ask someone to a verb. Never say I asked to him. Base on. Our conclusions are based on scientific research. Be accustomed to. I'm from Ecuador, so I'm not accustomed to the cold weather. I'm accustomed to is the same as I'm used to. Be/get acquainted with. At a conference, I got acquainted with various leaders in the industry. Be addicted to something. The rock star was addicted to heroin. You can also say you're addicted to interests like music or sports. It's not only for drugs and alcohol. Be afraid of. My 5-year-old daughter is afraid of the dark. Afraid of is the same as scared of. Be angry at/with someone for something. Bob is angry at his son for driving his car without permission and crashing it. Be annoyed at/with someone for something. I'm annoyed at my husband for forgetting to wash the dishes. Notice that after annoyed/angry at someone for, the verb is in the ing form. Be anxious about something. Everyone in the class is anxious about the final exam. Be associated with. There are a number of risks associated with the surgery. Be aware of. I'm not aware of any problems. Be blessed with. We've been blessed with good health and stable jobs. To be blessed with something is to have received something good/positive, which you're thankful for. Be bored with. I'm bored with it. July 21st, 2017. Downloaded from www.examhunted.in. Page 2 of 154. Classes I'm currently taking. Be capable of something. This technology is capable of changing the world. Be cluttered with something. The spare room is cluttered with my sister's half-finished art projects. Cluttered means there are too many objects in the space, and it's disorganized. Be committed to. Our organization is committed to improving education in the community. Be with prize. Walk back from retract a statement. They declined to walk back from their comments despite the controversy. Walk in on enter somewhere unexpectedly and see something. He walked in on them planning to sack him. Walk in to get work without effort. He walked into a great job straight after university. Walk in to be unaware of the presence of something and either enter a trap or bump into it, an obstruction. You walked into that one. You became victim to a trap I set, or he walked into a door and broke my nose. Walk. Go for a walk to reduce the effects of an illness or bad feeling. I tried to walk off my hangover. Walk off with win easily. He walked off with the award. Walk off with take something without permission or steal. Someone walked off with my umbrella so I got soaked. Walk on continued walking. I saw the accident but just walked on as I didn't want to have to give a statement. Walk out leave work because of a dispute with the management. The workers walked out because they felt that safety wasn't being handled correctly. Walk out leave a place angrily or because you are not satisfied. The film was a bore so I walked out halfway through. Walk out on leave somebody angrily. He walked out on his wife last year. Walk through explain or demonstrate something carefully to someone. He walked me through the procedures. Walk up go to someone. A man walked up and asked me the time. Walked through pass or succeed easily. She walked through the tests and got the highest score. Wander off leave a place, usually without telling other people. She wandered off and got lost in a crowd. Wander off stop paying attention. The lecture was boring and my mind wandered off after 10 minutes. Want to leave a relationship or arrangement. Jackie wasn't happy with her marriage and wanted out. Warm up do exercises before a sport. The team warmed up half an hour before the volleyball match. Wash away with floods or waste completely remove the structure, building, etc. The ice cream stop on the beach was washed away in the storm last night. Wash down drink in order to swallow something solid. I washed the antibiotics down with a glass of water. Wash out rain so heavily that an event has to be cancelled. The rain washed out the championship final. Wash over suddenly experienced a strong emotion. He felt numb as grief washed over him. July 21, 2017 downloaded from www.examhundred.in page 149 of 154. Wash up clean everything used to prepare food and eat it. The children washed up after lunch. Wash up when something in the sea or river is left on the shore or bank. After the crash, several bodies washed up on the beach. Wash up wash face and hands. Be sure you and the kid wash up before dinner. Waste away become very thin and weak, usually due to illness. He wasted away as the cancer got worse. Watch out, be careful imperative. Watch out, there's ice on the road. Watch out for be careful of something. Watch out for bats in the caves. Many have rabies. Watch over keep an eye on something or someone to check that there's no trouble. The lecturer watched over the students as they did the experiment. Watered down makes something weaker and less effective. The Freedom of Information Act was watered down by the government and didn't give ordinary people much access to official data files. Wave aside, ignore, or refuse to consider what someone says. They waved aside our objections and carried on with the plan. Wave down, make a hand signal to stop the vehicle. They waved the van down and got a lift after the accident. Wave off, go to a place where someone is leaving to wave goodbye. We waved her off at the station. Wave on, make a hand signal to tell someone to keep moving. The accident was bad, but the police waved us on. Wean off, slowly stop the dependency on something. We will have to wean him off his obsession. Wear away a road, remove gradually. The lawn has been worn away by people walking across it and it's just bare soil, now hardly a blade of grass. Wear down, make something weaker. The stress of my job is wearing me down. Wear off, stop having an effect. The anesthetic wore off and my tooth started hurting. Wear out, use something until it stops working. She played the video so many times that she wore the tape out. Weed out, remove, get rid of. The company weeded out the unsuccessful sales reps. Weigh down on burden with responsibilities, duties, etc. The requirements of her new job weighed down on her. Weigh in have a certain weight in sports like boxing. The champion weighed in at 120 kilos. Weigh in enter an argument forcefully. He disliked the plan and weighed in with some heavy criticism. Weigh in enter an argument or discussion to express a strongly felt idea. She weighed in on their immigration policies. Weigh on make someone consider carefully. The issues raised weighed on her mind. July 21, 2017, downloaded from www.examhundred.in, page 150 of 154. Weigh out measured a certain amount of something by weight. Could you weigh out 200 grams of that for me? Weigh up assess. They weighed the pros and cons up carefully before deciding. Weird out disturb, cause concern or worry. The way he spoke was weirding me out. Welled up feel tears starting. I felt tears welling up when I heard the news. Welled up feel an emotion strongly. Anger welled up inside us when we saw what they had done. Well up experience an emotion or feeling, start to cry. Tears welled up when I heard they had died. Wheel around, turn quickly and face in the opposite direction. When he heard the whistle, he wheeled around to see what was happening. Will out use something like an explanation that has been used many times before and has lost its impact. They wheeled out the same old excuses last time this happened. Wheel round, turn quickly and face in the opposite direction. She wheeled round when he told her to stop. While away, spend time doing something because you have nothing better to do. We whiled a couple of hours away playing computer games. Whip into enter rapidly as for a brief errand. Ben whipped into the convenience store for a bag of crisps. Whip out, remove quickly. The police officer whipped out a radio and called for backup. Whip out of exit rapidly. Lola whipped out of a side street without looking and broadside the police car. Whip through, do something quickly. She whipped through the task. Whip up, make food quickly. We got back late and whipped up dinner. Whip up, mix liquid food quickly to make it thick and creamy. I whipped up the egg whites. Whip up, make people feel more strongly about something. The boss tried to whip up some support for her new policies. Whisk away, take to another place quickly. The police whisked the minister away when the trouble started. White out, use a correction fluid to cover a mistake in a written text. Could you pass the tickets? I need to wipe this mistake out. Wake out, become excited and lose control. He whipped out when he heard that he had failed. Wiggle out, avoid doing. He was supposed to be in charge but tried to wiggle out. Wiggle out, avoid doing something. I wiggled out of having to work late. July 21, 2017, downloaded from www.examhundred.in, page 151 to 154. Wimp out, not be brave enough to do something. I was going to have the hottest curry on the menu, but I wimped out and had a mild lamb storm instead. Wind down, relax. I'm going to wind down in the country this weekend and do nothing. Wind down slowly, close a business or organization. They wound the committee down after the inquiry. Wind on forward to film or tape to a certain point. He wound the video on to show us the scene. Wind up, close a company because it's unprofitable. The company was wound up when the creditors demanded payment. Wind up, tighten the spring in a watch or clock to make it work. I forgot to wind up my alarm clock and overslept. Wind up, irritate someone or increase their stress level, especially if done deliberately. The children are really winding me up. Winkle out, find or get something that takes a great deal of effort. It took me a while to winkle the truth out of him. Wipe out, make someone very tired. Revising for the exam last night wiped me out. Wipe out, kill all of a population, make extinct. The meteor crashing into the planet wiped the dinosaurs out. Wire up, make electrical connections. She wired her new stereo system up as soon as she got home. Wise up, stop being stupid. His supervisor told him to wise up and start following the rules or else he'd lose his job. Word up, give someone information, advice. The solicitor worded her up client before the police interview, so they got very little out of him. Word up. The phrase that was used, a greeting. Word up. You okay? Work off exercise to remove stress or weight. She goes to the gym to work off her anger. Work on improve or develop. Scientists are working on genetically modified crops and foods. Work out and nicely. Things were going wrong for them, but fortunately it all worked out in the end. Work out, find the answer for solution. I couldn't work out all the answers to the crossword puzzle. Work over assault, beat up. They worked him over and robbed him. Work over repeat, do again. They worked it over until they had got it right. Work over examine carefully. They worked over the market looking for bargains. Work through deal with, resolve the problem, often emotional. It took him a long time to work through his anger after he lost his job. July 21, 2017, downloaded from www.examhundred.in, page 152 to 154. Wrap around covered with clothing, usually to keep warm. She wrapped a scarf around her head because it was so cold. Wrap around, cover or encircle with part of your body. He wrapped his arms around her. Wrap around, cover with clothing, usually to keep warm. He wrapped the cloth round his fingers to keep warm. Wrap around, cover or encircle with part of your body. She wrapped her arms round him. Wrap a cover in paper. They wrapped up the presents, then put the ribbon around them. Wrap up, dress warmly. Wrap up carefully or you'll catch your death of cold outside in that rain. Wrap up, finish. That wraps things up, so we'll end this meeting. Wriggle out of, avoid doing something in a way other people don't like. He always manages to wriggle out of any extra work we get. Write down, make notes. I wrote her mobile number down on a scrap of paper and I floiced it. Write and send a letter to a TV station, etc. They asked viewers to write in with their opinions and suggestions. Write off, destroy a car in an accident. He wrote the car off in an accident on the motorway. Write outright something completely. I wrote out my notes in full to help me remember them. Write up, make complete written version. I wrote up the report and submitted it. He on talk continuously, especially if it is an annoying way. He done for an hour. Yamer on talk continuously, especially if it is an annoying way. She yamered on for ages. Yield to surrender. I tried hard to resist, but in the end I yielded to temptation and ate it all. Zero in on direct or focus attention on. The police have zeroed in on the man they believe to be responsible for the murder. Zero in on head for, move towards. The hurricane is zeroing in on Florida. Zero out, cut off funding for a project. The debt was zeroed out by the department. Zero out, reduced to zero, cancel, remove. The entry was zeroed out of the database. Zipped around, move quickly. We zipped around the supermarket to get the shopping done. Zipped bypass quickly. The motorbike zipped by the cars stuck in the traffic jam. Zip it, keep quiet, say nothing. He told me to zip it, so I said nothing. Zip up, keep quiet. He was being stupid in the meeting, so we told him to zip up. Zoned in, paid attention after not doing so. I was bored at first but then zoned in. July 21, 2017, downloaded from www.examhundred.in, page 153 to 154. When things started getting more interesting, zone in on, paid attention after not doing so. I zoned in on what they were saying, then they started gossiping. Zone out, not pay attention. She zoned out during the lecture because it was so boring. Zone out, dissociate yourself from a situation. I put some ambient music on and zoned out. Zoned out, fall asleep. I zoned out during the film and missed most of it. Zoom in, focus more closely. The camera zoomed in to show people's faces. Zoom in on, focus more closely. The camera zoomed in on his face. Zoom out, go somewhere quickly. He rushed out of the building and zoomed off in his car. Zoom out, focus less closely. The camera zoomed out to show all the crowd.